What is up, guys? Welcome to a Wrestlemania prediction show. This is the Straight Edge Wrestling podcast, and we're live from New York City. We're heading out to Wrestlemania tomorrow. We've got the Hall of Fame tonight and went to Access yesterday. This is a big old card, so we're just going to jump straight in with The Revival versus Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. This has only been really announced 4 days ago, for the Raw Tag Team Championships. I'm assuming Kurt Hawkins is going to get his first win for the first time for a long time.
Yeah, it just seems like you're ruining a storyline there. Such momentum in that loss.
Yeah, I mean, they've not really used it either for the last few months. They started doing something with it for a while and then they just stopped.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming this is where Kurt Hawkins finally gets his win. We then have the Usos versus Ricochet and Aleister Black versus The Bar versus Nakamura and Rusev for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Another match which has just been sort of thrown together at the last minute.
Yeah.
Who you got?
I'm going to go with Usos at the moment because this is one of those ones that just makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe Ricochet and Aleister Black, they done their farewell thing at NXT last night where they're hugging in the middle of the ring, didn't they?
Yeah.
So, and they've seemed to have been pushing them slightly over the past couple of months. I'm going to say Ricochet and Aleister Black, but I don't really know. We're going to skip over the women's battle royal and the men's battle royal because we don't really know who's in it, what it's about. It doesn't really matter, does it, to be fair?
Well, the women's one's about vagina.
Yeah, you just get the vagina trophy. And the men's one is basically Braun Strowman versus two dudes from Saturday Night Live, and who cares?
You know Strowman's going to lose. He hasn't had much of a good success rate there.
Yeah, you just know those Saturday Night Live guys are going to throw him out of the ring. We then have Bobby Lashley versus Finn Balor. Demon Finn.
Well, it's good to see the Demon, but it's also a bit of a waste, ain't it?
Yeah. I mean, what I said straight away was the Demon wasn't good enough to come out for the WWE Championship, but apparently he's good enough to come out for the Intercontinental. Whatever.
WrestleMania, baby.
Yeah, ridiculous. Anyway, I've got Finn just because it's the Demon. It's got to be.
Yep.
And then we have Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre.
Well, they're not going to have Roman Reigns lose at WrestleMania, really, are they?
Roman Reigns' first match back, he's not losing. And he's not losing regardless at WrestleMania, but his first match back, he's definitely not losing.
Yeah, he loses to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's his one arch nemesis. And the thing is, they've been. It's a shame they've been building Drew up, literally only the last month, but they've been building up quite well. It'd have been good to see him go up against someone that wasn't Roman, someone that he could have actually beaten and got something good out of it. But whatever, it is what it is. We then have the Boss and Hug Connection versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya versus the Iconics versus Nia Jax and Tamina. Who you got?
The only team that matters, Iconics.
I would love so much for the Iconics to walk out with the titles. So much.
So entertaining.
They are the most entertaining thing especially in the women's tag division. 100%. God, they're phenomenal. I'm going to say the Iconics because it's what I really want.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think Sasha and Bayley are going to retain, but I'm going to say the Iconics because I really want the Iconics.
Yeah, Iconics would pin Beth. That'd be amazing.
Oh God. It's probably Tamina taking the pin.
Well, she's already gone through a bloody wall, so.
Yeah. We then have Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say Rey.
I really don't have a clue. I'll go
No.
Rey. I ain't got a clue on this one. Mainly because I'm not a great lover of Samoa Joe.
No, neither am I. But so I'm gonna say Rey. And Dominic's at ringside. I'm assuming Dominic's getting at some point. He's getting effed up. Samoa Joe's going to screw him up at some point. But yeah, I'm going to say Rey. I think it's going to be like a little heritage run. His sort of
Eddie's son coming back, yeah.
Yeah, Eddie's son's back in. But I reckon this is sort of like Rey's farewell. Here's your final title sort of run. We then have AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. I really don't know. I'm looking forward to this match, but I really don't know.
I'm looking for potentially another RKO. There's another WrestleMania moment RKO.
Yeah, there's gonna be some ridiculous spot.
It's gonna knock off the top spot from Seth Rollins RKO.
Yeah, there's gonna be some ridiculous high spot into an RKO. You know it, 100%. I'm gonna go for AJ? I don't really know. I think it could be either
Yeah,
way.
it could be either way. I'm gonna go with the Randy one because I'm hoping for that RKO over.
We then have the match which everybody is waiting for, of course, Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin.
Oh, Baron Corbin, yeah. No.
I'm hoping, I'm still fingers crossed hoping this isn't happening, that this
That's
match
what
is
I'm
not
hoping
happening.
Cena comes out and interruption.
Yeah, anyone, freaking
Undertaker is Big Evil.
a member of the bar staff to come out and interrupt anyone, literally anybody
you
other
gonna
than
have to
Baron
really
Corbin.
interrupt?
It'd be better than Baron Corbin versus Kurt Angle in his last match. Like, it's ridiculous. It's got to be Kurt, regardless of who it is. It's got to be Kurt, because if Baron Corbin wins, MetLife is going to lose their fucking mind. Everyone is going to lose their absolute shit if he wins.
That's probably what I'd do. Same reason why Kofi Kingston won't win the WWE
Yeah, but
Championship. Becky Lynch won't win the
but you think that you think that they learned from years past where when they do that stuff in the middle of the card, they kill the rest of the card.
You'll probably end up finding out that eventually there'll be like 3 or 4 rights for this in WrestleMania.
Yeah. We then have a Falls Count Anywhere match: Shane McMahon versus The Miz. I've got The Miz.
Well, I'm saying The Miz, but I'm really confused on one of your best heels being a face leading into WrestleMania.
Yeah, but he's doing it well.
Yeah, but I just don't understand it. It's one of the best faces in the best heels in the business, The Miz.
Yeah, but people behind him. I mean, he wasn't getting. I won't say he was getting stale, but it's nice to see him mix up and actually do something fresh rather than being the same Miz. I like it, and I like seeing Shane as a heel. He's a bit of a chicken shit heel. I like that. But these two are going to kill themselves. Someone is jumping off of something high, and I don't think it's going to be Shane. I think it's going to be The Miz. I think Miz is jumping off of something high. I think they're gonna turn the tables because Shane's the heel, so it's like, why I've not got to impress the fans. I think The Miz is flying off of something ridiculous, and these two.
That's just what Shane likes to do. And he always used to do it when he was a heel.
He's also a 50-year-old man, though. He shouldn't be doing it. I think The Miz. They've been building The Miz up for the last month of jumping off of things. Like in SmackDown, he's been climbing up and jumping off of stuff. So they've been like hinting at it. So I think they're finally going to pull the trigger and actually have him like launch himself somewhere off of something. We then have Triple H versus Batista in a no-holds-barred match, and if Triple H loses, that is the end of his career. So Triple H is winning, yeah?
Yeah, because Triple H was going to be winning anyway because they kept stating that he's never beaten Batista.
Yeah. Once again, should be Batista winning, but Triple H is not losing at WrestleMania, especially not when they're telling us.
Technically, though, he has stated after 50 he doesn't want to wrestle anymore, so he could lose.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
No, but he has stated
yeah,
after
he
50
said
he doesn't want.
He can say it all he wants. It doesn't matter. He's going to be wrestling till he's going to be like Vince McMahon. He's going to be in that ring until the day he dies. Yeah, I've got Triple H. It's pretty easy, isn't it? But I'm looking forward to that match. Probably the match I'm actually most looking forward to on the card. Weirdly, just because I think they're going to brutalise each other, beat the living shit out of each other, basically. We then have, for the WWE Championship, Kofi Kingston versus the new Daniel Bryan. Who you got?
Kofi.
Yeah, I don't think he's winning. I think Daniel wins.
Yeah, but that would be the first, right?
Yeah, I think Daniel wins. I'd like Kofi to win, but I think Daniel wins. I don't know. I don't think, unless maybe they are listening to the crowd, but what happens here is if he wins, then it's going to be like a New Japan card. You know, you just change your titles every major show, which is every time at WrestleMania, which is what New Japan does at Wrestle Kingdom. And I don't think they're going to want to do it. I think it's going to be like, because Brock's staying with WWE, I think where Brock probably retains, they're going to have Bryan retain just so Becky looks great winning at the end, which is a shame. But I'm hoping I'm wrong. I really am, because I would love for Kofi to win the match. It could legitimately main event at this point as well. Yeah. It could legit close the show.
Vince McMahon being a racist.
If it was any other year, this could have closed the show. But because the women's match is on the card, I mean, this has definitely got like the most attention out of anything on the card.
Well, yeah, no, let's be honest. At the end of the day, they started way too soon with the women's.
Yeah, they killed that off. We'll get to that. Yeah. And then we have, for the Universal Championship, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins.
Oh, boring.
Who you got?
No one cares.
I care. It'll be a good match.
Brock.
Yeah, Brock, but it'll be a great match.
No one cares.
I care.
No one cares.
I care. That's someone.
You don't, man.
It'll be a great match. It'll be an awesome match. Brock doesn't have bad matches.
I never said it'd be a bad match. I said
No,
no one cares.
I think they've done a great job building this over the past month. Like, even though he's not been there, like Paul Heyman's done a great job building this with Seth over the last month.
Paul Heyman's paid to do that.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think it'd be a good match, and I think, but I do worry that it's going to be a squash, and.
Braun Strowman all over it.
Oh, I hope it's not a squash.
Or like that Brock Lesnar v AJ Styles last night on a $1 million challenge.
Yeah, just suplex city, suplex.
I thought AJ was better than that. He let me down.
I've got Brock. Once again, I think all the champions are retaining until you get to that main event, because they want to keep that special at the end.
That's why they screw her over and find out Ronda wins it all.
Well, we then have Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch in a winner-takes-all triple threat match for the SmackDown and the Raw women's titles. It's got to be Becky. But, as you say, if Ronda does decide to stay on, there's a good chance that maybe she doesn't. Charlotte takes the pin, Ronda takes all. There's a good, and then they've still got that Becky Ronda match to go back to the world to.
Which means Kofi gets to win the race,
yeah.
Championship.
So, I'm assuming you're going Becky.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be Becky. They've been building her for now, 8 months since SummerSlam. They've been building her. Survivor Series, SummerSlam. They've been building her since they tried to turn her heel, and then they listened to the crowd and they've pushed her to the moon.
Well, it took them a little while to listen to the crowd.
It was the next week. It was literally the next week. Like she came out they turned her heel. She came out one day and she said, "You people boo me," and they're all cheering her. And then the next week they turned it all around and had her turn face. That was the first time I've ever seen them turn it around so quickly and actually listen to the fans.
Well, it's funny when your wrestler turns around and says, "I felt like so stupid doing this."
Yeah, I mean it is ridiculous in the first place having her go out there and say, "Oh, don't boo me," and they were going, Becky. Anyway, WrestleMania has got 16 matches thus far on the card. 16.
Well, they should probably run out to a solid 20, right?
I'm assuming there's going to be more because Cena's got something to do. PW Insider's saying that Taker is in the city somewhere. That he landed a couple of days ago.
He's driving his Harley around somewhere.
Yeah, whether or not he's actually going to be on the card is another thing, but he is in the city at the moment.
Driving his Harley now.
But he didn't drive a Harley. But
He does now.
But WWE have quite an uphill battle in competing with NXT TakeOver last night because that was a phenomenal card.
Because it was 3 hours and had 5 matches.
Yeah, and not just that, but also the fact that every single match knocked it out of the park. Every single match was phenomenal on that card. There wasn't a down point at all, and there's going to be a lot of down points at WrestleMania. Not to mention the fact that it's like 8 hours long, or 7 hours long.
You mean 12, huh?
Yeah, if they had their way, because everyone's got to be on the card. But anyway, we're heading to WrestleMania tomorrow. We're heading to the Hall of Fame tonight. Follow us over on Twitter at SEW_podcast for all updates, breaking news, reviews, all that good stuff, and updates from WrestleMania week. Head on over to Facebook. All the links are down below, and subscribe to this. And head on over to Instagram as well, and follow us at straightedgewrestling.com.